Hey, FitRockstar here, and on this episode, we're going to have someone really special. Actually, two people. Two of my favorite people, John and Sharisse Tsikouris. Did I say it right? Okay,
Yep, of
from
course, you got
Titan
it.
from Titan Medical Center. I'm so happy to have you guys here. Thank you. I know Sharisse can be joining in later, but John,
Yep,
thanks for taking the time to come out here.
no problem. I'm glad and honored to be on the show. I appreciate it.
It's truly an honor. So I got to go into the COVID stuff.
Sure.
You guys just recently went through COVID in 2020, right?
Yeah,
And
2020, we caught the original coronavirus. It was like June, late June, right into July, where me, Sharice, and my son caught it.
oh my
Same
gosh,
household. So it's kind of crazy how that all went down because with Sharice, she went to the ICU where me and my son were totally asymptomatic.
right?
It was really crazy the way that went down, but it's just nuts. The way that it affected us and not her the exact same way was just crazy. So it was just it was nuts. I mean, coronavirus is a crazy, crazy thing, and like I said, it's affected so many people out there. And I've had my cousin I've had die from
Oh
coronavirus,
jeez.
taken off the ventilator. Literally, like his son who's 18 years old was there, and he had to tell him, hey, listen, take him off the ventilator. So I've had that, and we just recently caught coronavirus Omicron,
Right, that's what
and
I was going to talk to you about. Yeah.
yeah, it's been nuts. Where now we all got hit with it again,
Wow.
uh, and still sick as far as a little bit of symptoms still, but over it. As far as testing wise, it was all flu-like symptoms. My dad, who I have retired in my house for what's been 11 years now, he was double vaccinated, boosted, still caught it, and he's still sick, and he's still testing like kind of positive for it after 2 weeks.
Wow. Is he doing better now, or is he still?
Yeah, he's gotten better over time, progressive, but he's just still not out of the woods. Still has a fever to some degree. He's still got the congestion portion of it. It was really crazy how Omicron affected us, where it was more of like a sinus infection type deal. That's the feeling
Mm-hmm.
almost. It was just nuts. It's just I don't know. They just
What do you
can't make
think
anything
we
out of
can
it.
do with our health to? Because I know you guys have, again, Titan Medical. Can you let our people know who is Titan Medical? What do you guys do? Anti-aging, all that good stuff.
Sure. So, Titan Medical Center is here to make you feel better, look better, and perform better. We do everything from hormone replacement therapy for males and females, medical weight loss, vitamin amino acid injectable therapies, which we have custom signature ones like Hercules Potion, Titan Complete, and such. We do libido enhancers for both males and females out there. Rejuvenation detox, and that's not for drugs, but that's for like liver detoxes, kidney detoxes. These are things that aren't going to make you go to the bathroom all day or not make you feel bad, but actually make you feel good while they're doing it. We do everything from peptides, from healing peptides like BPC 157, TB 500, weight loss peptides like AOD 9604, and sexual peptides like PT 141, which is FDA approved. We do blood testing nationwide for anything from, your regular panels from like your lipids and your cholesterol and such, to all the way down to your hormones and STDs or food allergy sensitivity through blood testing into as well. So that's the meat and potato of kind of what we do. Everything, like I said, to make you feel better, look better, and perform better. That's what Titan Medical Center does. If you're in the area of the location, we do IVs, get into fillers, Botox, Juvederm, all that good stuff too as
Oh,
well.
you got Botox?
Yeah, yeah. So that's one thing. We have our own
Ah.
medical spa side that's opening up here, and we're getting into all that stuff
You
too as
guys do
well.
PRP as well?
PRP, yep, that's another big one for
Oh,
us too as
great.
well.
Great.
You know,
S-
everything. Like I said, we're a full medical clinic. I mean, we have X-ray, EKG in there too as well. I mean, we can do a
Wow.
number of different things.
So with the
We do,
COVID and stuff, what would you suggest for the immune system? Do you have like the IVs for immune?
yeah. So IVs are going to be good, right? But being COVID positive, a lot of people don't want you in their centers or anything like
Sure.
that. Being COVID positive, but there are other alternatives. So when we look at things that will help patients that have COVID or are getting over COVID, or just have sickness in general, or want to be preventative to being sick, we look at a couple different things. One, we look at glutathione by itself. Glutathione is a super antioxidant. It's produced in the body naturally, so it's not an outside thing or something that's foreign to the body. It can help people, get over a number of different things, But When we look at that, that's one component by itself. That's really, really good for all the different symptoms of COVID or preventing getting sick. The next one is Triimmune. So Triimmune is the other big one. And that has glutathione at 200 milligrams too as well. And it has vitamin C and zinc in it. So it's 3 different components to really combat being sick or getting over sick or even preventative of getting sick.
There's Sharisse. Hi.
I'm so late to the party. I'm going to grab a seat here real quick.
Sorry.
All right. Sorry. I wanted to make sure I fixed my hair and everything. You know?
You're fine. You look fabulous. I'm good. You look fabulous as always.
Oh, as you do as well.
Are you
How
feeling?
is everything good?
You feeling better?
You getting there.
Good.
Yep, definitely
Yeah.
getting there.
Yeah, I was just asking John about the IVs, like for the like if you have, well, not COVID, but you want to prevent COVID. I mean, what type of IVs you can do and stuff like that. Were you guys slammed during the, like with people coming in wanting to get like immunity, like for the IV bags?
I mean, in all honesty, the IVs are great and everything. But obviously, if you're not feeling good, you may not want to leave your house,
Sure,
or you may not want to leave your bed. So the convenience factor of having an injectable with, it's called Triimmune. Yep. We have Titan Complete and a couple other ones that help with the immune system function. I mean, it's definitely more convenient to just have it in your home, do it on your own, and not have to actually go somewhere. So that's been a huge component for a lot of our patients, because either you have had COVID, you've gotten COVID, or you're going to possibly get COVID.
Right.
So, it's been a thing.
Yeah. I almost brought a shopping bag with some holes in it, because I remember you talking about the mask thing and people. It's just ridiculous how crazy this whole thing has gotten.
I'm telling you.
But something I did want to talk about is blood test. Why is it so important to have your blood work done? Now, for me, we'll use me as an example. I was really screwed up with my hormones, and thanks to you guys, we did I think a full panel on me and whatnot, and got me on some progesterone. You got me on anastazole. Am I saying that right? I got my little testosterone. I have one of my favorites, the Hercules potion, which I love. This thing is gold. John got me hooked on that.
Favorite too.
Yeah.
But why is it important for athletes and people in general to have their blood work done?
You want me to go first?
Go for it.
All right. So, I mean, the real reason that people should be checking their blood in a number of different fashions, right? And I say that because, when you go to your general practitioner, some people say, well, I just had blood work done. Okay, well, excellent. The average person really doesn't know all the blood tests that they're getting. All they do is they ask their physician, hey, how did my blood test come out? They said, you're healthy as a horse. You're good to go. But really what they look at only a couple of general tests on there. So when they look at tests like a general practitioner, they usually look at a CMP, which is a comprehensive metabolic panel. And that usually has 14 tests in it, yes. But what does it really cover? And the main aspects of that test are like liver, kidneys, electrolytes, and such. So really not looking at anything really too in-depth. The other thing after that, they might check a CBC, which is a complete blood cell count. And that checks like white blood cell count, red blood cell count, hemoglobin, hematocrit, and such. And white blood cells is like, if that's high, that could be possible infection in the body. If red blood cell counts are high and hemoglobin, hematocrit, that could be thickening the blood and such. But usually those are okay for a general person. After that, they usually check like a lipid count. That's your cholesterol, sure. HDL, LDL, and such. So good cholesterol, bad cholesterol. But that's really what they check right off the bat. Unless there's some major complaints where they have to check other blood and stuff, those are the main tests. But what we do is we go more in depth for a patient, because there's other things that could be affecting daily life and quality of life. And when we look at these other things, now let's talk about hormones, free and total testosterone levels, progesterone levels, estradiol levels, or total estrogens for women. We also look at IGF-1, which are like growth hormone levels, what that converts into. B12 levels are on there too as well.
Thyroid.
For guys, we want to look at PSA, which is prostate, but for females and males, we look at a full thyroid panel. Not just a TSH, which is a thyroid stimulating hormone, but we look at T3, T4, because these things, it's the bigger picture of things, and we want to look at all the different details of what's going on in the body. So that's why we run the more extensive blood tests on somebody, because if somebody complains like, listen, I have low energy, I'm depressed, I have low libido, and a general practitioner is not really going to look into these different tests, but they're going to say, hey, listen, let me give you some Viagra or whatever it is for the libido, antidepressants, and stuff on the back. And like, why am I feeling like this? Well, it's just a part of you getting old.
Right.
We can help you out here. So that's not the answer. They're not getting to the root of their problem and really find out what the issue is. So that's why I tell people all the time, I'm like, listen, do a full blood test. If there's something that you think is off, or you're just not feeling the best you possibly can, do the full blood test, really see what's going on. And we offer the most extensive, in-depth blood panel, and it's the cheapest across the country. And I hate to use the word cheap, but it really is. We go, apples to apples against anybody in the country as far as blood testing. Even if it was just a single test, if they want to see what's going on in that single panel. So I think it's vital for somebody to do this, especially as we age. We know that we're going to get deficiencies and declines in hormones and certain things. I always use the example of we're like a flower. We grow, we bloom, we wither, and we die.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, I'm always just going to bloom.
Yeah.
Of course.
No, honestly, it's ironic you bring that up because literally I just got off a call, hence the reason I was a little late. But I just told them, I've been in the medical field for almost 18 years now. We won't stamp my age or anything on that. But I was telling her, I'm like, she asked, what do we do at the clinic? And I'm like, it's more preventative medicine versus general medicine. And I was like, I really wish I knew what I know now, back maybe even 15 years ago, because a lot of the things that we're doing right now can literally help people before they get to the point of diabetes or before they get to the point of hypertension, before they get to the point of, having high cholesterol or hyperlipidemia. These are things that you can prevent, even if it's hereditary. You can curve it a little bit.
Sure.
So it's like, why not?
Well, in our sport, in the fitness industry, we've had some deaths last year. Do you feel that if these people would have had their blood work done, maybe they could have prevented certain things from happening?
I think, yeah. I think in most cases, for sure, 100%.
And I'm saying this to you guys because, look, you guys are very good at what you do. I love you guys because you're all about the athletes. You're all about the family. You're all about the people. You want to make sure they're happy, got the best of everything. Look, you guys have everything. I mean, there's nothing you don't have. And this is why I wanted to talk about the blood work, because it is vital to have it done. If I didn't get mine done, I don't know where I'd be at right now. I'd be a wreck.
In all honesty, while you bring that up, one thing I would like to put out there and make it very well known, especially if you want to bring up athletes and people that take, hormone replacement therapy.
Right.
It is imperative. I've been saying it. We've been open a decade. I've been saying it for a decade, and I'll say it to you. It is imperative that you are monitoring your CBC that shows your RBC, which is red blood cell count, your hemoglobin, and your hematocrit levels.
People always ask how I got here. I was willing to work just a little harder than everyone else. Every damn day. If I can have hundreds of hours back, I'm gonna grab them. Spending hours prepping chicken, rice, and vegetables, F that. I rely on perfect nutrition. I rely on trifecta.
Because if those levels get high, that will indicate thickening of the blood. If your blood's thick, it's not getting to where it needs to go in the proper amount of time. That's number one. Number two, this is where, you get all these horror stories about blood clots, pulmonary embolism, strokes, heart attacks. People are having all these issues, but believe it or not, if they did a therapeutic phlebotomy or they did a blood donation, or they might have needed to do it quarterly. Some need to do it monthly. Some need to do it bi-weekly. Everybody's different, but it's important that that's monitored because, I think that might be one of the top reasons of the cause of blood clots and heart attacks and strokes while people are on any sort of hormone replacement therapy.
And, I think, obviously we love the fitness industry, right? And I want to make sure that, our main goal for the fitness industry when we got into it was preaching health, putting health number one priority. Because obviously without your health, you're not getting on stage, you're not doing any competitions, you're not living, you're not having fun, you're not doing any hobbies, right? So you got to have your health. That's number one over anything else. Now, if you can bring in the aesthetics portion and get the goal that you want to body-wise, that's the topping and icing on the cake. But your main thing should be health, because without that, it's your foundation. So when we got into this, I told everybody, I said, you need to start monitoring things. And a lot of athletes I would come across in the beginning would say, well, I'm scared to even get a blood test because I don't know how it's going to come back. And, my thing to them was like, man, listen, that doesn't make sense, right? Because if you catch it in the beginning of stages, it's more easily to treat, or you might be able to get over it. If you let it keep going and going and going, you're going to go to the wheels fall off, and that car's going to crash, and you're going to be out for sure. So that was my big thing. And, you know, I think that some of the athletes out there need to have their blood monitored and do other testing possibly. You know, some of these guys have heart issues or cardiovascular problems. They need to get echocardiograms, and these are things that they can get done. I just don't think they know the routes to go about getting it. And the other side of that, the flip side of it, is you need to go to somebody that doesn't judge but doesn't maybe condone to a certain extent, because when they go into a general practitioner and they tell them, or they maybe look a certain way, they say, you're taking steroids and you're going to die, and that's why, you know, we don't want to treat you. And because, you know, the athletes or general people think, well, this doctor's just a jerk.
Right.
I got to look from the other aspect of it, and I'll give you guys the peek behind the curtain. A doctor doesn't want to do that because he doesn't want to risk liability for on his license. If he treats that individual or does any blood testing on that individual or any testing, he's now
responsible.
He's on the hook. So he needs to follow that patient and see what's going on. So they kind of veer away from doing that stuff. So I look at it from both aspects, you know, but it still doesn't take down the fact that athletes should worry about their health, number one priority, and go to somebody that's going to worry about their health. You know, a lot of the different times too, we'll do blood testing for just athletes out there. And they say, well, we tell them, hey, this is going on. You need to look at these different things, like your liver functions, your ALT and AST enzymes are triple digits. You need to do something about this immediately, right? Oh, let me get a copy. My coach is going to tell me what to do. Well, listen, there are a lot of coaches out there and a lot of people that I know personally that have a great knowledge of some of these different things. Yes. But there's some people out there that don't have that knowledge, and they're not medical providers. Even me, I'm not a medical provider. So at that point, I always push it back to my medical provider. I want them to look at it, them to tell you what's going on. Yes, I can give an opinion about things, and people can give their opinion about things, but they really need to go to an expert on these things.
Absolutely.
To make sure that they're covering themselves completely. And that's it, you know, as far as that goes. But I think it's a big thing. And at least 2 times a year, I think people should be giving blood tests, extensive blood testing.
2 times a year.
2 times at least.
Okay. I mean, that goes for the athlete, or is that just a regular person?
General public, athletes, things can change in 6 months.
Okay.
You know, especially if they're going and they're doing extracurricular things. I definitely think they should be monitoring more efficiently and effectively.
So let's talk about this for a second. Okay, let's say an athlete's getting ready for like the Arnold or the Olympia, which is going to be in December this year. So they should have the blood work done, you'd say January, and then again maybe in June, July?
I would say pre-contest.
Pre-contest
and post.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because we know like that should be like almost like a
Baseline.
baseline of what's going on. And then, you know, post is, hey, listen, if you've done anything extracurricular supplementation or such like that, then we can see what is going on afterwards and fix it. Now, if they're in the middle of prep, right, and there is something that's going on, then don't wait till the end of prep. Blood test at that point, because there might be something in there that's going on that you need to take back per se and go forward with. So if they see something that's damaging their liver and their kidneys extensively, and they're in the middle of the prep, then listen, something maybe need to come out so they're not damaging these things. The big thing is that liver functions, you know, ALT, AST enzymes are a little bit easier to help. We give somebody that's in triple digits on these things glutathione for a number of weeks in our protocol, and it usually comes down, at least unless it's hepatitis C or such. When we talk about kidneys, it's a little bit harder because there's nothing out there that's really going to bring those levels back to where they are. And people start getting to stage of kidney disease, and whether it's stage 1 through stage 5, and that's a slow death per se that's coming.
So let me ask you this: with the bodybuilder, when they have the blood work done, is it all over the map because of their nutrition and how they train? Can it throw off the blood work a little bit?
So, you know, obviously the way that they're eating and stuff like that, diet, nutrition can affect cholesterol levels. Now, when we talk about, you know, hard training and stuff like that, like right before they have blood tests, this can affect some of the vital organs, the creatinine levels and such. So there could be an effect with kidneys and liver on those things. But, you know,
high protein diet,
Right,
you know, a lot of times you'll see that high H and H come back just because of that, or even the kidney functions might be slightly abnormal because they have a high protein diet. That's actually super common with people in that industry.
they're not drinking enough water. Most of the people do in the industry, but there's some times where they take back water or dehydrate themselves and then blood test afterwards, and those levels could be affected by that too.
Do you always want to do I can't even talk. Do you always want to do blood work on a empty stomach, or is it? Does it matter?
So the only tests that you need to fast for are a cholesterol panel and a glucose panel.
Okay.
So those are the only things that will be affected by you not fasting.
So if testosterone, it doesn't matter or any of that. Okay. I was always curious about that.
Affect that level as far as testosterone levels is what time of the day you take it. Your testosterone levels are always highest in the morning as you wake up, right? In the evening or as you go down, they're going to start crashing down.
Well, I know the boss of the owner of the Olympia. He's really big about health. And I know that he was talking about possibly having blood work done for athletes before the shows. And, listen, you guys are the best. So I would love to see you guys, athletes come into you because it's an investment to your health. It adds years to your life knowing ahead of time, like Sharisse was saying, if you see certain things, you can stop it immediately. But it'd be nice if we can push athletes to you guys, to get their blood work done. Because, listen, I'm going to be honest with you. Let's keep it real. They would rather spend $100-something on drugs, supplements, than their health and a blood work,
And they regret it, when they're laid up in a hospital bed, a week and a half or 2 weeks, or maybe even worse, 10 feet under. You know what I mean? You're hearing the horror stories about that. It's like, you only have one body, right? And you got to take care of it because there's no replacements yet. I know they're working on replacement kidneys and livers and all these fun things, right? But no, you're not getting a replacement body just yet. So you got to take care of it. And, I preach hard on this. And, sometimes I've had patients like, they'll be like, why are you being so tough on me? And it's just like, listen, if I didn't care, then I'd just be like, whatever, here's your blood work, go on about your business. Here's what needs to happen. Do what you want at this point, but here are the facts and here's what you need to do, Honestly,
I think it'd be a great thing. I think it'd be a great thing for the industry.
Absolutely. 100%.
It was tragic, with everything that happened. And this just is a reassurance to people that, listen, the industry is looking out for the athletes too as well. And they want the best for the athletes too, which this is going to be good for the athletes to know where they're at, what's going on, and to be monitored to a certain extent. I think it's really good. Like I said, blood testing is key, and I think everybody should be doing it, not just athletes, but regular people too.
Sure. Well, I really wanted to stress that because, again, you guys have done so much for me, and I see what you've done for other athletes and regular people in general. You've changed their lives, and I thank you guys because, again, you do keep it real, both of you. Thank you, Sharisse, for doing that, John. Because, listen, a lot of people, they just bullshit. They just tell you whatever just to take your money. Listen, it's great to have all this money coming in, but you guys keep it real. You lay it out for them. Listen,
if it was all about the money, we could have easily, I tell them all the time, and this is me being very real. If it was all about the money, we could have opened up the clinic, made a ton of money and shut it down in 2 years and been done, right?
It could have given everybody everything they wanted.
Right.
That's how
money to us has been a byproduct of us just doing the right thing, right? Because ultimately, we're here to help them and make sure that they're going to be all right. I'm all about getting people to where they want to be as far as they want to look right. They want to stack it on. They want to lean out. They want to do this. They want to do that.
That Aries.
Girl, listen, I took my shot this morning. I am on that.
Do you take the Aries and inject it anywhere, or how does that work?
Yeah, you could do it. It's subcutaneous. Usually it's, anywhere like 4 inches from the navel, to the left or right. But and it's only, you're injecting a very minimal amount too. So it's an easy injection. It's only once a week. So.
Do you have anything to inject the ass to make it more plumpier?
You're holding it.
Put that Hercules potion in there.
You're holding
it. This?
Yes.
Oh hell! I'm gonna be injecting my ass after.
I've got a tutorial on how we did it too.
Okay.
Yeah.
So literally, we've got a protocol where somebody could do this. Usually, the girls, they want to do their glutes, and we call it pump the rump. Right?
Pump the rump. Wait a minute now. Is this I think I've watched that movie actually. I'm kidding. Sorry.
And then girls like to do calves too. Girls,
wow.
They dresses. Yeah. They want their calves. I know guys that do calves. So
would you train? So you train, and then I mean, you put this in beforehand and say do legs and squats and then,
Yep. Yep.
oh my
Yep.
God. I'm
I
gonna be
know,
mo-
it's crazy. It's crazy. You know, the
That's
best
good
part
stuff.
about that stuff is the best part about it, it's only vitamins and aminos, right?
Right.
So I mean, you're getting some great results without having to take something off the wall. Crazy.
Well, the pumps I get on it are ridiculous. I mean, you can tell a huge difference when you're on it. So, but there's something I wanted to bring up that you said, John, that really piqued my interest, and that was thrive, don't just survive. What does that mean? Can you explain to our audience for that, please?
Yeah. So thriving and not just surviving. Okay. So we go about our day, a regular person gets up, has low energy, just goes about their day, does their daily routine, goes to work, comes home, and is too tired to play with their kids, hang out with their wife. They're surviving, right? But they're not thriving. They're not living their best life. Where somebody could go out, feel their best in quality of life, knock home runs, promoting their job, come home, play with the kids, have a great time with the wife, and feel good about it at the end of the day. And these are one thing, people always get these bad routines or bad lifestyle habits, or don't even know that they feel bad because they're used to feeling like that every day.
I don't know what good feels like.
So my biggest thing is that you should want to thrive, right? You should want to do your best in everything you possibly can and feel your best at the same point. When you do this, you're thriving. You're getting everything you want out of life. And that's kind of where it came into play with the thriving and not just surviving, because I see a lot of people just trying to survive today and they're not trying to thrive.
Correct.
And that's, that's upsetting to me, because I think, obviously we only have one life to live. You only get one chance at this thing. So at that point, you got to do your best and want the best. And if you don't, you're just surviving, man. And that's okay too, if you really want to live like that. But a lot of people don't. I don't care what they say. They all want to thrive and not just survive. So that's kind of where it came into play, man. I was more of a motivational thing for me. I was like, I don't want to just survive. I want to thrive. And I think a lot of people out there want to do the exact same thing.
Again, you guys are so positive. I love it. And again, you keep it real. You've been together for 16, 15 years?
We just had our anniversary on the 21st.
Yeah, so we're
going on
15.
Okay.
Wait, but hold on, wait. I'm saying this. We've spent those 15 years outside of 1 week that John went to Greece, day and night together, every day, every weekend, every minute of the day, literally speaking. So I'm like, listen, technically, we've been together double the time, right?
Double the time.
So we've been together
right?
30 years, really.
Wow. What is this? Now, you don't see that nowadays. People don't know how to keep their relationships spicy, happy. You guys have the Cupid's Corner, which I love.
Thank
Keep
you.
it real. When does that air usually? When does that come on? It's on ABC. When?
We have a ABC show here in
Yeah.
Florida. It's every Sunday at 11 a.m. We have a health and lifestyle show, and that's like one of the main segments of it because people love it so much. We kind of just ran with that, made it one of the main segments. But it's on every Sunday. It's on our YouTube page, Instagram page, and all that stuff too as well, so they can all find it.
So tell me, how does somebody in this industry, in a relationship, or just in general, what are some of the secrets, the keys to keeping it going, keeping it fresh?
Well, step number one, if you're in this industry, keep your estrogen in check so you're not crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
You're not being crazy.
Oh, God.
I think some of the main cores of what has made us successful in our relationship, and we have a 12-year-old. A lot of people don't know we have a kid. So,
I know. Yeah.
like, you guys got a kid too? Yeah, we have a kid. So the main things I think is honesty and communication. Communication is key in anything you do. Your personal relationship, your love relationship, whatever you're doing. If you don't communicate properly, people don't know. They may assume or think something different. So I think communication is key. Obviously, for us, it was a little bit easier in some of the aspects because when we got together, it was like, I don't know, like 4 or 5 weeks, and then Sharisse moved in.
Yeah, we did it very
Aw.
A couple
untraditional.
weeks afterwards, maybe a month or so, we're planning the wedding, the kid, and everything like that. So,
Aw.
I mean, remember, John's Greek, right? So his family is like, what are you guys doing?
yeah.
You guys are crazy. I'm like, I don't know.
I think, spending time together, obviously, I think that's a big one. Some people can't do what we do when they spend like 24/7 together, and that's okay too if they can't do that. Some people need a little bit of breather and stuff, but for us, it just works. Obviously, I think intimacy is another big one. Even after this long time, me and Sharisse are still intimate every day almost. So
Every day.
that's a big thing, you know.
Through
I
all
think a lot of
surgery.
people lack that intimacy.
You
A lot of
gotta
people do.
have it. You gotta have it. You know, in between the intimacy, one thing that we've always done before COVID came around, because this was like our thing, because we both love movies. We're like kind of like the guy and girl version of each other, except John's way nicer than I am, right? Way nicer. Thank goodness one of us is really nice. But you know, we had a dedicated night. It was every Thursday, and that dedicated night we'd go to the movies and we'd go see a movie. And it was great because, you know, we're constantly on our phones and our laptops and, you know, having to text this person, that person. Well, in the movies, if you have your phone out, it's rude. So it kind of forced us to have that window of like, okay, this is just our time to enjoy a movie next to each other, cuddle, eat some popcorn or whatever it is, you know. But I think that that's something small as that, right? Even if it's once, if you can't do it every week, even if it's once every 2 weeks or once a month, where you dedicate one night, right, where you guys go to dinner, no phones, put your phone away, everybody can wait, no one's going to die in 2 or 3 hours, okay? Everyone can wait a minute and just talk to each other, you know, talk and try to get your bond and all that good stuff. And I think that's huge. People miss that. They really do. They get so tied up in, you know, your stuff. So you wake up, okay, take the dogs out, take the kid to school, go to work, come here, cook dinner, go, you know, do this, do that, go to bed, repeat. And where in there have you dedicated any time just for you guys?
They're just surviving, not thriving.
Let's go back to this estrogen thing. So what do you mean estrogen makes you crazy? What do you mean by
No,
that?
oh, listen here. Okay, so this is going to go for guys and for girls because it goes both ways. We both have estrogen in our
Can
body.
guys build a lot of estrogen?
100%. I mean, these guys that are out there, right, that are taking testosterone, they're not taking an AI and an estrogen blocker. We all know, and if you don't know, you do know now, that majority of the population, if you take testosterone, it's going to aromatize into estrogen. And if you don't block that estrogen, you are now going to act like a female on their menstrual cycle.
It's true.
Really?
Yeah. So, I mean, you know, when estrogen rises and aromatizes after you take testosterone, you're going to be more sensitive, right?
And then you're kind of like, you might be impatient. You might be
Irritable.
a little irritable. You might be, not only that, but let's not, you know, we'll mention sometimes high estrogen levels for guys, you're not going to be able to get it up.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts.
You're not going to be able to climax. That's another.
Well, guess what I'm going to be doing next time? I'm going to have my guy's blood work done to measure his estrogen.
Exactly. Be like, hey, you're acting a little crazy. You know what? I'm going to take care of some blood work for you over at Titan.
For real. That's a big thing. And a lot of guys in it too, like some of them, they take too many estrogen blockers, and that knocks it down the dirt.
It does the
which
same
you can
thing.
get the exact same effect.
Same effect. You'll still be moody, impatient.
I got my estrogen blocker right here.
Right.
Yeah. The girls need it too. You know, just, you know, it's everything's about when hormones come into play. Everything's about being in a harmonic balance, right?
Keyword.
Harmonic balance. There's no highs, lows. Everything is balanced correctly. But I mean, I had an estrogen dominance as well, which caused me like all kinds of issues outside of me thinking I'm bipolar at some point, right? When really it was just a hormonal imbalance.
Now, you are a workaholic. You are constantly working.
I am. At least I can admit it.
Do you get any sleep?
You know what? After my wonderful COVID experience back, 2020 COVID, that woke me up, slapped me a couple times and said, hey, listen, you need to listen to your body. And, you know, I know you want to help all the people on the planet, but if you're not healthy, you're not going to be able to help them. So now I've made sleep a priority.
Can lack of sleep raise estrogen levels? Is that possible? No?
I mean, I wouldn't say necessarily, not really.
It might be able to lower testosterone levels.
Yeah.
Okay.
They've had that. You know,
Okay. I was just curious.
Honestly, if you're not getting enough sleep,
your body's not recovering.
it's affecting you in a number of different ways. Cognitively,
mentally,
you're not there. You're slow, emotional. I mean, there's a lot of different things that go with sleep. So, I mean, your immune system can be broken down over time. Sleep is very important, and a lot of people don't talk about it, even in our industry. They talk about training, eating, supplementation, but sleep's just out. And if you realize more people than ever are complaining about lack of sleep. A lot of people are not getting sleep.
Now, you guys have stuff for sleep, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. We have like Titan Serenity and stuff like that, which is all natural to a certain degree. It's got L-theanine, magnesium, and taurine in it. It helps people that have like social anxiety and might need to calm down and relax, or people that need to just relax before they go to bed. There's usually two types of sleepers out there.
Mhm.
There's one that can't go to sleep. Wheels just keep turning, cannot go. There's other people that go to sleep and they wake up hourly. They get up, they go to bed. They get up, they go to bed. They
Can't
toss
stay
and turn all
asleep.
night.
I've done that.
It sucks. It really
Yeah.
does suck. So, I mean, that's something that you have to get into the routine of doing and kind of train your body. If you need some other supplementation out there, there's definitely things that can help with that.
So let's talk about some sex drugs here. So even when, even scream cream, even women need, even women need. We have female Viagra, right? Or no?
Right. Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we do.
So-
Superwoman.
What is it called?
You diet down, train hard, and supplement smart for months. When the time comes to step on stage, don't leave your tan to chance. Go with the pros. Pro Tan. #1 worldwide since 1987 and the official sponsor of the Olympia for the last 15 years. Don't step on stage without it. Pro Tan.
Superwoman.
Superwoman?
Wonder Woman.
Yeah. So
It is
we've
Wonder
got our
Woman.
Wonder Womans,
Yeah, Wonder
right?
Woman.
Which is, it's still denafil, so it's just like Viagra to a certain extent. And this works the exact same way as it works in a guy. Now, obviously, girls aren't getting erections, right? But what happens is well, Viagra, sildenafil, the main chemical, was actually a blood pressure medication when it originally came out. And then they seen the side effect of the vasodilation, the blood flow down to the extremities, and that's when they started, going for the FDA approval for libido enhancement for males, because it gave them good erections, long lasting. Same thing happens to a female where blood goes down to the extremities, and it makes it more sensitive to the lower area. So that's one aspect of it. Now, the main one for females that works out there, which is really cool, is Cupid's Candy. And it's got 3 different ingredients of it, but the main ingredient out there, which you could take solely by itself, is PT141, formaldehyde. That's what
Okay.
it's called. Okay. It's FDA approved for female libido enhancement. Now, the way that Viagra and Cialis work, it works on the vascular system. It takes the blood flow down to the extremities, right? Where PT141 works on the nervous system. So it works actually mentally for libido enhancement.
Huh.
The way that females and males both look at libido as far as getting enticed or horny or whatever it may be, males are more driven to image or touch and feel, okay? Where females are more mentally stimulated.
Yeah, you pissed me off. I don't want anything.
Right.
That's why some girls are like, oh, he's
Wait
so
a minute
funny.
now. What about angry sex?
I don't
This-
know. John would probably beat me up in that session. I don't know about all that.
But when it comes to that, a lot of females have a lot of problems either getting enticed or horny, or they can't get to
Connected,
climax,
yeah.
right?
Right.
Where this is going to help them, cross that bridge and really feel pleasure out of sex or get in the mood a lot quicker. And Cupid's Candy has 3 different functions to it. So it has the PT141 in it, and guys can take this too,
Mhm.
right? And it also has tadalafil, which is Cialis, and it also has oxytocin.
Mhm.
So these components, the tadalafil works in the vascular system, the PT141 works on the nervous system for libido effect, and then you have oxytocin, which is the bonding hormone. So this works in 3 different areas, and males and females can take this.
Mhm.
So something you can take together with your partner and have the great experience on both ends,
Mhm.
which is another bonding experience. If you have, and a lot of people out there are like, I don't need this. I
Who
don't need
cares
Right.
if you don't need
Yes,
it? You can
yes.
still take it and have
Right.
a great time.
If you want to, up your game up or become that superhero in the bedroom, then we have something for you.
Yeah, you
Does it have to
Right.
just be in a bedroom? It could be anywhere, though, right?
Be anywhere you want.
In the kitchen,
Right, right.
laundry
Right.
mat. It could be outside in the garage.
The laundry mat. Restaurant, bathroom. Who cares? Anywhere.
Whatever floats your
Wherever
boat.
floats your boat. You never know. We got somebody.
So with Viagra or Cialis, can you take too much of it, though? Say if I have my boyfriend, I fed him a handful of Viagra. Is that bad?
Put it up and put it in his drink.
So you don't want to give him too much of it, right?
Okay.
Usually a regular gentleman is going to take 100 milligrams and be fine. Like that's That's going to do its job probably for 24 hours. Okay. If you give them too much, the side effect or problem that could happen with that is the erection lasts too long. So they have an erection that lasts more than 4 to 6 hours. There can be permanent damage to the capillaries and blood in the penis, and that will cause possible damage for the rest of their lives. So this is something that you have to watch out for, and you don't overdo.
Okay.
There's guys out there that say, "Oh, I have a high tolerance. I'm going to take 3 of these things." Probably not the best thing to do.
Right.
I'm just being honest with you. I mean, they should be able to take 100 milligrams or 110 milligrams that we have and be perfectly fine.
Yeah.
I mean, we even have one where we make a combination of sildenafil, which is the main chemical in Viagra, and tadalafil, which is the main chemical in Cialis, and we have them mixed together. So it's 100 milligrams of Viagra, which is sildenafil, and 40 milligrams of Cialis. And usually the common dose for Cialis is going to be between 5, 10, 20 milligrams tops. So if they don't take one of these, if they take one of these and have an issue, then there's something else they need to do.
I usually tell guys too, because I like to distinguish sometimes, like, the sildenafil versus, tadalafil. And I usually tell them, like, hey, listen, usually if you had to distinguish it, tadalafil, you could take it in the morning, and whenever it happens, and it's going to happen. Sildenafil is more or less like you're on a date, you guys are headed back to the house, it's going down.
Pop a pill.
Then there you go.
Okay. Now, here's something that you may be shocked by, maybe not. Some women athletes will take Viagra before they go train
Of course.
because they want to get all the vascularity out and get the Instagram shots and stuff. What do you guys think of that? Is that dangerous to do?
It's not dangerous. They could take a daily dose of either one of these things for vasodilation. Now, when I talk about these things, I always say, listen, what's going to be the best to get that result, right? And that's when I go with Hercules Potion.
Yeah.
You're going to get more vasodilation in Hercules Potion. Plus, you're going to get all the other things along with it. Ornithine, so you can work out more strenuous activity. Glutamine, so you're recovering faster. Lysine to build the immune system, because you are doing some effective breaking it down by working out or doing any like crazy activity out there or strain. You're getting a lot of different things that are in there. So is there something better for vasodilation? Yes. But yes, Cialis and Viagra have been used by a number of different people to get a better pump effect in the gym.
Yeah, if you can avoid a headache, though, because a lot of people's side effect of sildenafil is a headache. If you can avoid a headache and take Hercules Potion, then why not?
Even congestion with Viagra, some people do get congestion and stuff like that.
Oh, wow.
That means they're taking too much of it.
Mm-hmm.
Usually, if they take a lower dose, they won't get those negative side effects.
Well, tell me about Scream Cream. I gotta know what is it?
Yeah, so Scream Cream's it's a number of different things. It has like arginine in it. It has sildenafil in it, which is Viagra. It has some of these different components in it, right? And it's basically a cream that you rub on your labia and clitoral area, right?
Can guys rub it on themselves or no?
You can rub it on themselves, but it's not going to really do too much result. We do have a version for guys out there, but
once you put cream there, you may not get some of the
You
extracurricular activities that you're looking for.
Oral pleasure at that point, once you apply it, I really wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah.
I think we've had one guy in the total practice of the 10 years.
And he was a porn star.
Oh,
and
God.
he used to like to put it on girls, and he used to like to go down on them with, I wouldn't recommend doing that.
I'm like, your mouth doesn't go numb at all or anything.
It doesn't have a flavor like cherry or anything like that. It tastes like cream.
So it's not flavored?
No.
Oh, come on.
No, maybe we should
Cherry Scream Cream. Come on.
But we don't want to eat it either. It's not
you're not supposed to eat it.
But to the effect of, listen, if the guy's ready to go and bearing and you guys aren't worried about oral things, you could slip it on, use it 100%, or if he's done, or if you guys are done in that aspect and you want just to have it by your side of your bed, use it, put it on. We do have a lot of females that have used it and do like it. But it's just whatever you're going for. It's really on the user what they're expecting, what they want to use it for, what they're going to do in the bedroom. I mean, that really tops the cake of what they want to do.
So, give me some Valentine's Day tips for couples to have fun. Either at home or out and about. I know Sharisse doesn't like chocolate. What is up with that?
I know, right?
I'm telling you,
that's weird.
It is super weird. I know. I'm okay with it. I am weird. Okay. But you got to know, I love John. I had true love for him the day I walked into the Godiva store to go get him a present for Valentine's.
Wow.
I'm like,
Were you
"Ugh."
were you
I'm like,
gagging the whole entire time?
literally, the people are like, "What is your problem?" I'm like, "Can you just hurry up and ring me up? Because I'm like literally gonna throw up."
She was wearing face masks before COVID was around.
Oh my God, that's too
It's
funny.
not my gig, you know. It's just I don't know. It's never it's absolutely disgusting. I don't know how you guys do it.
But I think for Valentine's Day, I think it doesn't depend on your budget. There's a lot of great things you could do, right? But I always kept it pretty simple and easy for Valentine's Day. Flowers is a must. You want to get them flowers. And, at that point, you get them flowers from anywhere. It doesn't have to be the most expensive thing.
Pulling them out of somebody's garden? Does that count?
Yeah,
I mean,
wherever you can get them from. I mean, at that point,
If they're dripping with dirt and water, I might have an issue with that.
Right.
They always say it's the thought that counts, but it's like, listen, in all honesty, I mean, Valentine's Day tips, I mean, John won't drop it in here. I'll drop it for him, right? Outfits, put on some outfits, pigtails, guys like all kinds of, cute little,
Right. Yeah.
cute little things, that's good. That's a great thing to do on Valentine's Day. Obviously a nice dinner. Flowers are always a must. Guys shouldn't be left out of this because the Valentine's Day I feel like is always just for girls, like, oh, get them flowers and chocolates and then that's it. But for guys, grab them some underwear, get them something cute,
underwear.
get them something, get them something they like, for John, if you start, once you hit like year 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and so forth, you got to start getting a little bit more crafty, right? And
Creative,
a little bit more creative in what you're doing, right? So then I started making picture collages and getting them framed. And then I would have it shipped to the house, and then he'd open them, and it would be more of like a sentimental type of thing, because it came from the heart, and it didn't cost. I mean, that doesn't cost you $300, right? It costs you what, $25, and it came from your heart. It's really, it is the thought that counts. You can really make it happen, and you can even make somebody dinner. You can make somebody dinner at the house.
I think spending time with your loved one or significant other, your girlfriend, fiance, wife, boyfriend, whatever it is, I think just setting that time aside and doing something special. Like, you don't have to go out and buy a $1,000 dinner. Make them something at home if you guys are on that budget. That's fine. Like, me and Sharisse, when we started Titan Medical Center, we literally started with $2,000. So
wow.
We didn't have a lot of money in the beginning, right? So we just did what we did, and they were always good. I would look back on the pictures because Facebook, MySpace, and all those. I went back on that the other day, and you kind of see the evolution of where it went. But it was always setting that time aside, doing something special, being together, bonding. And then having, maybe a good sexual experience later on, that's always a plus too. I mean, that's a part of bonding too that I think it gets forgotten. I mean, I talked to some of my friends out there like, it's like sex like once a week or like once every 2 weeks.
Like once a year.
I'm like, what?
Like, dude, like, what are you doing?
I'm like, guys, what's your problem? No wonder why you're in a bad mood all the time.
Right.
Yeah, you get the frustrations out. But,
but you're right. A lot of them are in bad mood. They just need a little bit of a release. Some happy,
Yeah, 100%.
They got sexual tensions and frustration.
Right. And women too.
You guys would be surprised, right? So, this is go back, I'm not like the girliest girl you'll meet, right? However, all girls like compliments, right?
Sure.
So, I mean, listen, you drop them a compliment. Hey, you look nice today. Or, so the little things like, make sure you don't leave the house without giving them a kiss. Like those are the little tiny things that people forget that actually count. Like they really count.
What do you think about people who force it too much though? In a relationship, you can tell like it's so forced.
Yeah.
You don't want to force anything.
Mm-mm.
No.
I don't, unless it's a conversation that needs to be forced because something's a problem.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to force anything.
There's a fine line though, right? So me and John both come from backgrounds where our parents were married the entire time that we were kids, right? So we both come from homes where they were married, and believe it or not, both of our parents were divorced was it 21?
We were both 21.
Yeah, and we're not the same age, but it was 21 is when our parents ended up getting divorced. But we grew up in that same type of environment. So when we got together, I'm like, hey, listen, I want the same thing, and he wants the same thing for our family. And it's so crazy because back then it was like, if your parents weren't together, it was like, you guys are so strange, Now it's like, if your parents are together, it's like, you guys are so strange.
Right.
So it's like, it's so crazy how it's become. But I really think that a lot of people may not give their best efforts. And that's why it's like, turn and burn, turn and burn, turn and burn, turn and burn. But like, if you meet someone and they're charismatic to you, you like, more things than you dislike, you should probably give it a try. Don't just, the first time something happens, don't just drop it like it's hot and be gone to the next thing on your, whatever, the swipe screen or whatever they call it.
Swipe screen.
Or, I don't know the names of all these applications, but just, I think you should try to make it work. You really should.
Yeah, I think forcing anything is not going to be good. It's
I see that a lot nowadays, but I had to ask you guys. You guys are so adorable together. I mean, Sharisse, she's like a beautiful China doll. John, you're like the Superman, her protector,
I love you.
No, you guys are great. But I want to talk Titan, and then I'm going to let you go because I know you got a business to run. What do we have in store this year coming up for Titan? Some new and exciting stuff, right? Okay, that's a lot.
Yeah, it is a lot.
It's a lot. Obviously new therapies. Every year we try to come out with something more cutting edge, better for patients, going to give a better result. That's going to be one thing. The medical spa side, that's where we're getting together right now to put that in full effect. So full aesthetics is coming for Titan Medical Center and a lot more other therapies and services too as well. Events this year, hopefully everything is going to go all right. We're going to do some big events this year. We've got Gasparilla that's coming up this Saturday, which is a huge event.
Wow.
Big full for that. We just got our Festival of Speed this last week and before that, which is another big one. Hopefully Olympia here at the end of the year, and everything in between. We're just always looking to expand and get bigger. So we've always done that organically too as well. We've never bit off a piece we couldn't chew. So we want to always master our craft and what we were doing and then expand onto that. And I think we're going to do that with more locations this year too as well.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so it's going to be a lot of things are in the works for us. Just want to make sure everything fits.
Yeah.
You guys have a great team, and if people don't know, you guys sponsor me, and I appreciate it very much for taking care of me as you do. And I have so much respect for you guys because not only, again, do you care about the health and the person, but you both have really good hearts, and you can just see that you mean well for others, and you like having a good time, So that's always nice too.
And you only have one life to live,
Right.
So it's like, you got to enjoy some of the life. And yes, I am a workaholic. I would be lying to you if I told you different.
I see the Instagram post. You're always working.
I'm literally, I might even be in the background working on my phone with a laptop or something, and always making sure because we built this thing from nothing, right? And literally from nothing. Built it from nothing. So when we've gotten to this point, it's still like that much more important to me that I still go in and I QC the messages. I see the text messages. I'll go in there and check the emails, make sure the patients are being treated right by the employees. We don't keep any employees on staff unless they are on the same page as us, right? And it's hard to find people, period, just to start with, but it's even harder to find people that actually genuinely care about these people like we care about them. We say, oh, you're part of the Titan family. We're not just making that up for a slogan, like some cool slogan that came along with a commercial.
Right.
We really mean it, so, we mean it and what we say, what we mean. And so it's got to be delivered on that end. So it's important to me to make sure that everything is rolling correctly and we have all the right people in place. And if we don't, then, that's
well, you definitely have the right people in place. What's nice too is that, I'm always getting text messages, phone calls. Hey, how are your therapies doing? You can respond immediately. I mean, you guys are on it and people appreciate that. Wow, these guys really care. They're checking up on me. So that again,
for the record, we do not have any automated systems in place. That is all the messages that go out are from a real life person. Every single one of them.
So if the patient responds back, we're there. We know exactly what they're saying.
Now, can I ask you something because you're so, on the phone and stuff? Do you ever have crazy people just randomly sending you off the charts stuff? You're like, what is this?
Yes.
I just have to ask.
Yes. All the time.
Of course.
All the time. Some really random things sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'll be the one to hop in there and be like, what is it that you want? What is it that you're looking for? How can we help you here at Titan Medical Center? We are a medical center.
Do you guys have like drunk calls and stuff? I mean, like random texts at 3:00 in the morning. Just
picture. I think one of the random things recently was like a picture, and I'm like, and said something about a Bumble or something. I'm like, I'm so confused. I'm like, I don't know if there's people out there creating like, other businesses under
Right.
Titan Medical or calling it Titan something, and then they're confused. I don't know. But I mean, honestly, it's nice to get a little something that, in my day that makes me laugh.
Sure, of course. That's always nice. But it's nice that you guys live life to the fullest. And again, I thank you guys. I'm going to be stressing a lot the blood work being done. And again, through you, I would love to see the IFBB and NPC have you guys the official, hey, look, go to Titan Medical Center. They legit, again, you do have the best in the world, I'm going to say, not just the U.S. as far as blood work and everything goes. But if you want to say anything out there to the people, give us every single thing as far as contacting you, watching your show, all that good stuff.
You got this down pat.
Okay, guys. So if you guys want to check out more about what we do and how we can help you, you guys can go to our Instagram page at Titan Medical, our Facebook and Twitter page, Titan Medical Center. TikTok, Titan Medical Center. That's another one. We're doing a lot of funny videos on there, putting those up. Check out our YouTube page. Check out Titan Medical Center. You'll check out all the therapies we've done, instruction videos on how to inject some of these therapies or what to do with them, plus all the lifestyle content we do, our events, all the Olympia, all the shows are all on there too as well. Our ABC show, if you're not in the state of Florida, you can check it out on YouTube too as well. There's all a tab for that. Website, www.titanmedicalcenter.com, has all the therapies on there, everything we do, services, mission statement, clothing. So if you want to buy any clothing and stuff like that, it's all on there for you to purchase. And I think that's it. I think that.
Or you can call or text 727-389-3220.
Yep. We also got our podcast. So if you guys are listening to podcasts, wherever podcasts are downloaded, just type in Titan Medical Center, Titan Lifestyle, and you'll find us on there too as well.
I love your apparel, by the way, especially it makes the boobs pop and the butt pop. I mean, for the women, it's great. But listen, thank you so much for all that you do. Thank you for making the time for coming on. Love you guys. Well, thank you again. I know you guys got to go, so I'm going to let you go. FitRockstar signing off again with Sharisse and John from Titan Medical Center. We'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.